So, Apple Intelligence is here. It's finally here in Australia. It's ready for you. All you got to do is upgrade to macOS 15.2 or iOS 18.2. Now, what is Apple Intelligence? It brings a whole host of smart features to your iPhone, iPad, and Mac. Let's go into a few of them because I know that there are a number of them that we need to cover off. On Apple's custom silicon, there are specialized neural engines that handle all of the AI superpowers and super features that you're going to learn about today. So if you want to learn more, stick around. Apple has used AI on devices for up to a decade. Now, the Apple silicon chips, like the M series and the A series chips in iPhone and iPad, do enable these AI functionalities. What that means is they have their own neural engine, their own GPU, their own CPU that they can use and abuse while you're hard working on other stuff. It's a combination of machine learning models and large language models on device and in a system called private cloud compute that enable more functionality and productivity in your device. AI uses huge amounts of power, so how does it run on such a small iPhone, iPad and Mac? That's a really great question, Will. Let me answer that. It essentially runs on Apple silicon chips. Now, they have specialized neural engines, CPUs, and GPUs that handle a lot of this processing for you. So it feels fairly seamless. I've been testing it for a while, and a lot of the experiences are out of this world. Now, what are those experiences? Well, we're going to cover off a fair few, so put your seatbelt on and join us on this ride. So what is Apple Intelligence and what is it going to do for you? Well, the first one is writing tools. Writing tools provides a clear and concise way to summarize, professionalize, and even dot point the text that you're writing. So let's say you write out a load of spiel in Notes. You can select all of it, right-click, select Writing Tools, and then choose the option that's best fit for you. A good use case here is if you're writing a business email to your boss. Let's say you want it to sound a little bit more professional than it was before. You just hit professional and it will re-summarize that text in a much clearer manner. Now, this is all handling important information, and it's important to share that this is on device. Now, this has just become available for Australian English. It's been around in the US for the last month. So we should see a lot clearer and a lot more concise answers to your AI questions. Now, this comes into Siri as well. Siri is going to have the ability to connect to ChatGPT natively. You can turn that feature off if you don't want it, but if turned on, then you will be able to ask Siri to write you literally anything. A good option here is if you're stuck on what to cook for dinner. You can just type to Siri, I have chicken, tomatoes, and potatoes in my fridge. What can I cook? And it will go away to Siri and it will come up with a recipe for you. Another new feature to come out of Apple Intelligence is image creation. Now, this is split into three main areas. You have Image Playground, Image Wand, and Genmoji. Now, Genmoji is a way to create new emojis based off of things like personal context. So you could ask your Genmoji app to create an emoji of me holding a fish, and it will actually go away, think about who you are as a person, understand that based off of the photos, and then create your emoji, and in your hand you'll find a little fish. It's pretty cool stuff. The other one is Image Playground. Now, this is a new way of generating images based off of photos that you upload. At the moment, it just works with photos of people, and we're hoping that it will expand out into more general photos. The first thing is to select a photo or a person, and once you've done that, it will ask you whether you want to select a different photo of that same person, just to make sure that it's getting the best image possible. It will then go and ask you if you want to create a scene. Now, I've done this before. It creates an illustration view of you with some snazzy backgrounds. At the moment, it's fairly limited in what it can do, but we're really hopeful that this could be a new way of creating cool digital art that you can insert into your photos, messages, or even upload to social media if you really must. The final one is Image Wand. Now, on an iPad or an iPhone, you might do some really bad doodles like I do in your Notes app, sketches or just random thought scribbles. Once I've done that, I tend to just leave them there and come out of the Notes app or even delete them because they're so bad. But with Image Wand, you can select the wand from the taskbar and then circle that image, and it will actually understand what you were trying to draw. You might want to add some personal context, let's say make the dog brown or make the dog white, and it will add that in to make sure that it understands. Once it's done that, it will generate the image, and you can just swipe right if you're not sure if it's the right one. It will generate a new one, and then you can hit done, and it will replace your badly drawn scribble with a pretty picture instead. So that is image creation. Of course, the lineup is not complete without Siri. Now, Siri has some more features available to you. One of those is that it connects directly into ChatGPT. This is a pretty cool new feature. All of your information is privatized, as we spoke about before with private cloud compute. All of your data is anonymous. So when you go to create a request, it will actually give you the option on the screen whether you want to use ChatGPT or not. If you don't, that's absolutely fine, and you can turn it off in settings. And you can also sign in with your personal ChatGPT account. So if you have a set of ChatGPTs that you want to go and talk to, you can actually do that from your device now, straight from Siri, which is amazing. Another feature for Siri is that it actually has personal context. So it's going to know who mum is in your contacts list. It's going to know who mum is in your photos. And it can tie those things together. So let's say my mum is arriving in 2 weeks' time. You can ask Siri, when does my mum's flight land? And it should go and pull that information from whether it's messages, from the calendar, or even from a screenshot that she sent you a few weeks back. Now, this is all really important because it builds a foundation for how Apple Intelligence is going to run in the future. It's going to become a lot more of a personal assistant, being able to do things on your behalf. Now, this is where app intents comes in. This is something that developers are in the early stages of adopting and hoping that in 2025 they pick it up at rapid speed. What this is going to be able to do for you is go and action things in third-party apps. So let's say you wanted to make a note, but this time it's in Evernote. You can ask Siri, make me a new Evernote page with this description, and it would be able to go and do that for you. So this is a really important pathway that we want to see Apple Intelligence and AI in general help us in our day-to-day functions. There's going to be less reason for you to get your phone out of your pocket every single 5 minutes. You can just ask Siri straight through your AirPods or even from your watch. So, and that's really exciting, right? We want that to happen. Now, another small feature that it shouldn't be overlooked is priority notifications. Now, this is an option that you can choose as a focus mode, and it will only deliver to you the most important notifications at that point. So let's say you're in a podcast studio filming a podcast. You put priority notifications on, and if someone's trying to call you, you will get notified. If someone's texting you and saying, I can't wait to see you on the weekend, Siri knows that that's not as important, and it won't notify you directly. It will say that there is a message waiting, but it may not vibrate or make a sound to alert you. Now, this is also going to be built into the Mail and Messages apps. So if you have an email incoming saying, I need you to contact me urgently, that is going to be at the top of your list with a new priority notification tag, so you won't miss it. It's a combination of machine learning models and large language models on device and in a system called private cloud compute that enable more functionality and productivity in your device. Now, there's two features that are going a little bit under the radar this year. The first one is transcripts. Now, this is a way to record, transcribe, or even summarize the audio that you want. So let's say you're on a phone call, you can, in the top right, actually select the record button, and it will go and record the phone call with you and that person. Now, it does notify the other person and tells them that your call is being recorded. If that's what you want, that's totally fine. Afterwards, you'll find in the Notes app a transcript of what was said on that call. You can also play back the audio, which is awesome. You can also start this feature straight in the Notes app. So if you wanted to create a recording of your voice saying something so you don't forget it, it will transcribe that for you and then post it into the note. The other one that's going under the radar is the Mail app. Now, there's 3 features here as well. You have the priority messages, you have summarize, and you've also got smart reply. Now, these are all AI-based functions. So the summarize function is going to summarize that email for you and put a better header into the notification. So let's say someone was ranting on about a really, really great weekend they had. In the header, you'll just find X person had a really good weekend. Much more concise. Priority messages will elevate the message of most importance to the top of your screen, making sure that you don't have a chance to miss it. So let's say someone needs your passport to book a flight. That's going to be right at the top of your page. Lastly, you have smart reply. So when someone asks you a question in an email, you can tap reply, and automatically at the bottom of your screen, you will see that there is some options to smart reply. Now, at the moment, these are kind of like toggle switches. You can click yes or no to answers, and then it will generate that message for you. I'm hoping that in time it will understand your personal context from Siri and even input some specific functions. Let's say someone's asking you if you're available on the 3rd of December. You may not be. Siri might know that, and it will put that in for you. That's what we're hoping for. At the heart of everything Apple does is privacy and security. And this is no different with Apple Intelligence. They've taken some serious measures to get this right the first time round. They've even publicized some security articles on their website. And if you're interested, you can head to apple.com/apple-intelligence. And there's even a blog on security.apple.com that talks about their private cloud compute. Finally, there are some new management controls for Apple Intelligence. Now, this goes from an MDM service. So if you don't have one of those, come talk to us at Mac Center. But you will be able to control each individual element. So let's say you want to enable Siri, but disable ChatGPT. We can do that via a specific management control delivered via the MDM. Now, there is specific controls for Siri, writing tools, image playground, Genmoji, and even the ChatGPT integration. If you want to learn more, then come talk to us at Mac Center. So how do I get all of these smart features, I hear you say? Well, you just need to update to macOS 15.2, iOS 18.2, or iPadOS 18.2. It's not available just yet for Apple Watch, Apple TV, or even Apple Vision Pro. But we're hoping to see that in 2025. So follow us for a little bit more information, and we're hoping that we get more functionality over the coming year.